Ladies and gentlemen, there is a great truth in this life. Real work does not demand applause. The greatest victories, the most remarkable achievements, and the strongest foundations of success are built in the quiet hours of dedication. In a world where people are quick to announce their ambitions, few are willing to labor without immediate recognition. But I tell you today, the most powerful work is done in silence. True success is not found in noise, but in the quiet persistence of those who refuse to give up. So work hard in silence, and when the time comes, let your success be the only voice you need. A farmer does not plant seeds and shout to the sky about his harvest before it grows. He tills the soil, waters the plants, and waits with patience. His hands bear the evidence of his labor, and when the season is right, the fields bloom with abundance. So it is with our own efforts. Work in silence, and in time, the fruits of your labor will be undeniable. True success does not need an audience because real progress happens in the quiet moments of dedication, persistence, and effort. In today's world, people are often eager to showcase their ambitions, their struggles, and even their smallest achievements for validation. Social media has created an environment where people feel the need to share every milestone, every challenge, and every goal as if external approval is a requirement for progress. But the reality is that true growth and achievement do not come from the attention of others. They come from consistent, disciplined work done away from the spotlight. History has shown time and again that those who achieve greatness are often the ones who work without seeking immediate recognition. They understand that success is not built on noise or temporary praise, but on silent perseverance. A writer does not announce every chapter before the book is complete. An artist does not demand applause before the masterpiece is finished. A scientist does not expect recognition before the discovery is proven. These individuals work in silence because they know that results are what truly matter. When a person focuses too much on announcing their ambitions, they risk losing the energy required to achieve them. There is a psychological phenomenon where the mere act of declaring a goal can create a false sense of accomplishment. When someone speaks too soon about their plans, the brain registers it as progress, making them feel as if they have already achieved something when, in reality, they have only spoken about it. This can lead to a loss of motivation and a decrease in actual effort. The energy that should be spent on the work itself gets redirected toward gaining approval and validation. Those who understand the power of silent work do not rely on external encouragement to move forward. They have an internal drive that pushes them through challenges without the need for applause or reassurance. This mindset creates resilience. When obstacles arise, they do not seek sympathy or complain about difficulties because they know that struggle is a natural part of growth. They push through setbacks with quiet determination, knowing that success is earned through persistence, not through words. Success is not measured by how many people are watching. It is measured by results. A musician who practices tirelessly in solitude will one day stand before an audience that marvels at their skill. A business owner who builds a company from the ground up without making grand declarations will one day be recognized for their accomplishments. A student who studies diligently without seeking praise will one day achieve academic excellence that speaks for itself. The work done in silence becomes evident when the results unfold. The greatest innovators, leaders, and pioneers in history often worked in silence before the world took notice. They spent years refining their skills, developing their ideas, and pushing through failures without announcing every step. Did not seek constant approval while working on the light bulb. He conducted thousands of experiments in private before his success illuminated the world. Marie Curie did not seek immediate recognition. She devoted her life to scientific research, making discoveries that changed history. These individuals did not focus on immediate validation. They focused on their purpose. There is strength in the ability to work without constant recognition. It requires self-discipline, patience, and a deep understanding that success is not about being seen. It is about making a real impact. When a person learns to work hard without the need for applause, they develop an unshakable character. They become more focused, more determined, and more capable of handling success when it finally arrives. The world may not always recognize effort immediately, but effort is never wasted. Every moment of silent work contributes to something greater. A person who builds their skills in private will eventually be recognized for their expertise. A person who stays committed to their goals without seeking attention will achieve results that speak louder than any words. True success does not need an audience because when the work is real, the results will be undeniable. Discipline is the mark of those who understand the value of silence. The student who studies late into the night does not need to declare his effort. The excellence in his work will reveal it. The athlete who trains tirelessly does not need to boast. His strength and skill will prove it. The professional who dedicates himself to his craft does not demand recognition. His results will command. Silence builds character and resilience because it forces individuals to rely on their own inner strength rather than external validation. In a world where people are constantly seeking attention and approval, those who work quietly develop a different kind of strength, the ability to persist without immediate rewards. They do not need encouragement at every step because they have cultivated discipline within themselves. This self-reliance is what separates those who achieve great things from those who are merely looking for recognition. When someone works without an audience, they learn to push through challenges on their own, developing a resilience that cannot be shaken by setbacks or failures. People who embrace silence in their work develop patience. Success is never instant, and anything worthwhile takes time to build. Those who understand this are not discouraged by the slow process of growth. They do not seek shortcuts or quick praise because they know that real mastery takes years of effort. A musician practicing for hours alone, an athlete training in the early morning before anyone is awake, a student studying late at night when others are resting. These individuals understand that patience is essential for true progress. They are not working for immediate results, but for long-term excellence, and that patience strengthens their character. Working in silence teaches people how to handle failure with dignity. When someone is constantly seeking attention, failure can feel devastating because they worry about how others will perceive them. But those who work quietly understand that failure is a necessary part of the journey. They learn to analyze their mistakes, adjust their approach, and keep going without feeling the need to explain themselves to the world. This ability to endure setbacks without losing motivation is what makes them stronger. They develop the mindset that failure is not an endpoint but a stepping stone toward success. Resilience is built in moments when no one is watching. When a person continues to push forward despite difficulties, they strengthen their ability to handle challenges in the future. This mental toughness is not developed through applause or encouragement, but through quiet, consistent effort. Life is full of obstacles, and those who have trained themselves to work without recognition are better prepared to face them. They do not crumble under pressure because they have built their endurance over time. They have learned how to rely on themselves rather than depending on others for motivation. Silence also teaches people the value of humility. When someone constantly seeks recognition, they may become too focused on their image rather than their actual work. But those who work quietly understand that their efforts matter more than their reputation. They do not waste energy trying to impress others because they are focused on genuine progress. This humility allows them to keep learning and improving without being distracted by the need for validation. They are not concerned with proving themselves at every moment because they know their work will speak for itself in time. The ability to work in silence is also a sign of maturity. Many people want immediate results and instant gratification, but those who are truly dedicated understand that real success is a slow process. They do not need to announce every step of their journey because they are focused on the bigger picture. This level of maturity allows them to stay committed even when progress is not visible. They trust that their efforts will eventually pay off, and this trust keeps them moving forward. People who develop resilience through silent work also become more independent thinkers. When someone is constantly seeking external approval, they may change their actions based on what others expect. But those who work quietly are not influenced by outside opinions. They trust their own judgment and make decisions based on what they know is right. This independence allows them to stay true to their goals rather than being swayed by temporary trends or public opinions. They are not easily discouraged because their motivation comes from within. Character is not built in moments of recognition. It is built in the unseen hours of effort and perseverance. The strength to keep going despite difficulties, the patience to wait for results, the humility to focus on the work rather than the rewards. These qualities are developed through silent dedication. When a person commits to working without seeking attention, they build a foundation that will support them in any challenge they face. Their character becomes unshakable, and their resilience allows them to achieve success that lasts. When we chase approval, we risk losing focus. We become concerned with appearance rather than substance. But when we commit ourselves to quiet, determined work, we build something lasting, something that speaks for itself. Let the world wonder how you succeeded. Let them ask, how did you achieve so much? And let your answer be simple. I worked when no one was watching. I prepared when others were distracted. I kept going when it was hard. When success arrives, it speaks for itself because true achievement does not require explanation or validation. The work that is done in silence, with patience and persistence, eventually produces results that cannot be ignored. Those who dedicate themselves to their craft, their goals, and their purpose without seeking immediate recognition will one day find that their accomplishments are undeniable. The world may not see the years of effort, the struggles, and the sacrifices that were made in private, but the results will always reveal the truth. Success is not about how loudly a person speaks about their ambitions. It is about how effectively their actions bring those ambitions to life. The most remarkable achievements in history were not built on constant announcements, but on quiet, consistent work. The greatest inventions, the most breathtaking works of art, and the most inspiring acts of leadership were not accompanied by endless declarations of intention. Instead, they were the result of individuals dedicating themselves fully to their purpose without being distracted by the need for validation. A scientist does not make discoveries by talking about experiments. They do so by conducting them tirelessly. A writer does not become an author by announcing their plans to write a book. They do so by spending hours crafting every word. An athlete does not win championships by discussing their training. They do so by committing to relentless practice. People who understand this principle know that their success will eventually become evident. They do not waste energy proving themselves to others before their work is complete. Instead, they focus entirely on their goals, trusting that their dedication will lead to something undeniable. They do not seek attention in the process because they are confident that their results will command attention when the time is right. The world does not need to be convinced of someone's capabilities if the evidence of their achievements is clear. The moment a masterpiece is unveiled, people admire it without needing an explanation. The moment an invention changes lives, its impact is recognized without words. When success is earned through genuine effort, it carries an authenticity that cannot be questioned. There is a difference between temporary recognition and lasting achievement. Some people spend their time trying to gain attention, but their success is often fleeting because it is built on words rather than work. Those who dedicate themselves to silent progress, however, create something that lasts. Their success is not based on perception, but on real substance. A business that thrives is proof of the hard work behind it. A career that flourishes is evidence of years of commitment. A talent that stands out is a result of disciplined practice. There is no need for explanation when the results are undeniable. Another reason why success speaks for itself is that it commands respect. People may not pay attention to words alone, but they always recognize results. Someone who constantly talks about their ambitions without taking real action may struggle to gain respect, but someone who has worked diligently and allowed their results to unfold naturally earns admiration without having to ask for it. True success has a presence that does not need to be announced. When a person excels in their field, their expertise becomes obvious. When someone achieves something remarkable, others take notice without being told. This principle applies to all aspects of life. Whether in academics, business, sports, or personal growth, those who commit to silent effort eventually stand out. A student who studies in private will excel when the time comes to demonstrate their knowledge. An entrepreneur who builds a company without seeking immediate praise will eventually gain recognition for their accomplishments. A musician who practices without an audience will one day perform in front of one. The effort put in behind the scenes is always revealed in the final result. Many of the most successful individuals in the world understand this truth. They do not waste time making empty promises or trying to impress others before their work is complete. They dedicate themselves fully to their craft, knowing that their success will be their voice. They do not rush to prove themselves because they are focused on doing the work that truly matters. When the results of their efforts become visible, they do not need to explain how hard they worked or how much they sacrificed, because the evidence is clear. Their achievements stand on their own, speaking louder than any words ever could. There is a quiet confidence that comes with working in this way. Those who trust in their process do not feel the need to constantly justify themselves or seek approval. They know that their hard work will eventually bear fruit, and they are content to wait for that moment. They do not compare themselves to others or get distracted by those who seek instant recognition. Instead, they remain focused on their own journey, understanding that true success is built over time. When it finally arrives, it is undeniable, and no words are needed to prove it. In the end, the true measure of success is not in how loudly one speaks about their ambitions, but in the undeniable results of their dedication. Working hard in silence builds character, resilience, and patience, shaping individuals who do not rely on validation but on their own strength. It teaches the value of perseverance, the importance of humility, and the power of allowing achievements to speak for themselves. Those who remain committed to their goals without distraction will find that success does not require an announcement. It will reveal itself when the time is right. Stay committed to your path, trust in the process, and let your work do the talking. The world will recognize true excellence when it appears. You will never have to prove yourself with words alone. Keep pushing forward, keep striving for greatness, and let your success be the loudest voice in the room. Good luck on your journey, and may your efforts lead you to the success you deserve. Thank you.